You know, I'm gonna be quoting Jordan B. Peterson a lot on these videos and on this channel, just because as a period of time I really watched this stuff and his ideas and his teachings really I would say influenced me, and his ideas really resonated with me. And he once said that writing is very important because it helps you organize your thoughts. So a good writer will have written very well thought expressions and express themselves in a way that can be understood. And to tie that in with today's topic, books are filled, well thought out words, well fleshed out ideas, and they're filled with knowledge and wisdom. And that allows people to just appreciate what the book has to offer, whether it's a beautiful artistic piece, a beautifully emotive experience, just really makes you cry, makes you smile, makes you laugh, a thrilling adventure where you get to experience the characters visiting unforeseen lands, just discovering new things, or just simply things that ideas and possibilities that the reader had no knowledge of or couldn't even imagine prior to reading that book. So, I mean, one reason to appreciate books is just that they can be so many things. Another reason to appreciate books is just because you can get so much more out of books than simply the words that they have to offer. And what I mean by that is that, firstly, the first aspect is what the books actually have to offer. The words, the ideas, the values, and principles embedded in these books. Firstly, you have to think about how long does it actually take to write a book versus how long it takes you to read. So, I mean, to put that into perspective, it's like, how long does it take to write a book that takes one day to read? How long does it take to write a book that takes a week to read, or a month, or a year, right? And then, so in order to kind of figure this out, I decided to do some research. And let's see here. So I decided to do some research, and honestly, even though I figured it would take a good while for a book to be written, it took a lot longer than I thought it would. So, according to Teresa Funk, a writing coach I found on YouTube, in order to write a book of approximately 25,000 to 40,000 words, it may take approximately 4 months to write a draft, the first draft of that book. And then to put that into perspective, according to wordstopages.com, a word to pages calculator, a book with 40,000 words can be anywhere from 89 to 146 pages. And based on a quick Google search, on average, it takes about 2.8 hours to read 100 pages. So, let's see. Using that math, it would take about 4.2 hours to read 150 pages. So the proportion of writing 150 pages to reading 150 pages is 695 times to 1. That means it takes 695 times longer to write 150 pages as opposed to reading 150 pages. And I understand that part is a bit boring, but it's important to understand just how much more time is put into the writing process than it is into the reading. And this doesn't even include the re-editing, revision, and just the research and the preparation into writing. It doesn't even include all of that. That's just lowballing it, or to equating just a simple first draft process to the actual reading process. So you could potentially be like, so the reward for reading 150 pages might actually be 1,000-fold, It might even be way more than that, like from what I know, or based on what I've researched. But it's like, that's how much you get from reading alone. But that's not even it. Because from the book, you don't only reap the time the author put into it, but you also gain some of the author's life experiences, wisdom, knowledge, and education in that book. You receive all the reading the author has done for himself, all the wisdom the author has gained from those books, or from their life experiences, or from the people they've met that taught them. and you receive this very educated, polished version that may have taken the many years for the author to develop, you know, those polished skills and that level of education. From the book, you don't get just the time invested into writing the book, but you get so much more than that. So that's why, to me, books, you know, as a concept and in reality, they're very amazing to me. You can gain like a century's worth of knowledge just from reading a couple of books. That's wild as fuck to me. And before y'all start thinking I'm like some super scholarly type of person who reads hella books or, you know, writes a lot or whatever, I'm not. I'm really not. For the longest time, I really hated books. I hated the whole idea of reading and just doing those college readings, assignments, or just reading on my own in general. I just thought I could be doing, you know, something more. But, you know, realizing how significant books are really helped me start getting into them better. And just reading more books started kind of expanding my appreciation for them. So I'm trying to be better about reading books. And I'm not gonna lie to you, it's kind of hard to read sometimes. You know, it's some books can be really hard to read. You know, they have very complex issues, and I also have to overcome my own stubbornness when it comes to actually reading books. But yeah, I'm working on it. Right now, I'm reading a manga, and I'm enjoying it. It's pretty good. I know that if I was younger, I would for sure enjoy this manga more because I'm more aimed at a younger audience. But kind of felt an obligation to catch up on it and read up on it just because, well, firstly, I'd already started watching it a bit, and secondly, a close friend of mine had recommended it to me a while back, and thirdly, I just get so many posts and, like, you know, on it in my Instagram, like, feed. So it, like, really piqued my curiosity. And eventually, I mean, I'm gonna start working on reading big-ass books, you know? Start reading those like 500 to 1,000 page books. I mean, like the most I've read from a book right now, it like nears 300 pages, but it's not that much, you know. Or at least I don't remember reading a book that's more pages than that. Probably 400 is the maximum. But yeah, for the most part, I haven't read like super dense books, and I have a couple, so I'm hoping I'll get to them eventually. But I mean, until then, I'm just gonna work my way up. I'm gonna keep reading manga. Gonna read some of the, you know, shorter, lighter books that I've bought recently. And yeah, I'm just gonna kind of enjoy the whole process and journey. And I realize there's like different ways to learn and to gain information and knowledge that's unique to each person. But I really implore everyone to read because it's great. You just get so much out of books, like literally, like that whole explanation I did earlier. But yeah, like give books a try, and I promise it'll be worth it. But yeah, that's today's video. See ya.